Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant. I hope you guys are doing okay. This is Car Chronicles. And of course, at this particular time, I am in my home office. So hopefully, you guys are, I don't know where you're viewing from, but good morning, good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Hey, listen, if you guys are not subscribed to my mother's Clubhouse channel, you guys really need to. We had an awesome conversation this Tuesday, and everybody brought in valuable information. And the conversation is the reverse discard. First of all, let's talk about what is a discard. To discard is to get rid of something or someone that is no longer useful or desirable. It's like throwing something in the trash. You have no more use for it. It has no desire to you whatsoever. And this is what narcissists do. They don't break up with people. They discard people because they find no more relevance for them. They find no more desire for them, and they serve no purpose for that individual. And many times you're discarded or even shelved, put up on a shelf, or maybe later on for use later on, But to discard someone is to get rid of that something or someone because there's no desire or use for them. You have lost your use for that narcissist. And the use for the narcissist is to fill them with fuel. And if you no longer have the fuel that they want, and for many people it's because you have woken up and you have begin to set boundaries. You're not that easy to manipulate anymore. You have finally found out that there's some things going on that you don't like. So you have become useless to them because of the fact you're not that easy to move. You're not that easy to manipulate. You're not that easy to abuse. You have become complex. And so that narcissist looks at you like you have problems, you have issues, you're causing me problems, and you have nothing but problems. Really, you're not letting them have their way anymore. But we were talking about the reverse discard. And the reverse discard, and people have different definitions for it, but when you're talking about the reverse discard, remember that when you are being idealized by and love bombed by a narcissist, you're also being devalued at the same time. Because as crazy as it sounds, if a narcissist finally pulls you to them or you give them a chance, they already deem you as worthless because you let me get you. You allow me to pull you. The excitement of the chase, there is an excitement of the chase, but the fact that I got you, or that I'm pulling you, or that you're even talking to me. The thing is that a narcissist doesn't value themselves as you think they do. A narcissist doesn't value themselves. So if you fall into that game, they automatically don't have value for you either, because why would you talk to me? It's not that they know, but they don't know what they're really like. And if I'm able to get you, then anybody can get you. If I'm able to get you, you don't have any value because they don't have any value. So they're already starting a smear campaign on you. And they're starting a smear campaign on you because a narcissist has to maintain the power of the narrative. They have to maintain control. They have to maintain their image, because you are not getting ready to ruin their reputation, because a narcissist already knows what they are like. A narcissist already knows. They've been told 1,000 times. So it's not like it's the first time they've ever heard anything about themselves. They already know about themselves. They're not just going to admit it to you, and they're not going to agree with it, because how dare you talk about me? I'm perfect. I'm better than you. I don't have the same issues as you guys have. I don't have issues like that. I don't have problems like that. A narcissist can never see themselves. They can never look on the inside of themselves. So they smear campaign you already. They set you up because they're already afraid that you're going to start talking about them. They're paranoid individuals. They already assume that people don't like them. They don't like rejection. They don't like constructive criticism. And so they already start a smear campaign to prepare themselves for when you're going to leave, or if you're going to leave, or if you start talking to people and telling them about the narcissist. They have to maintain the narrative, and so they maintain the narrative just in case something happens and you decide to leave. They can say, see, I told you. See, I tried to tell you about this person. See, I told you about her. See, I told you about him. You see what I'm talking about? They would leave. They would leave. Now, a narcissist is always looking for supply. Now, true enough, not all narcissists cheat, believe it or not. Not all narcissists cheat, because it depends on the role that they're playing. Some of them do play the role of pastors and they won't cheat. And then there are some that play the role of pastors or are in a pastoral position and they do cheat. Not all of them cheat though. But at the same time, they're always looking for supply, and supply means to feed into their ego. So, and well, that supply provides them with fuel, and that fuel is feeding into their ego, whether it's making them feel brilliant, smart, handsome, whatever, And the thing is that there comes a time where let's talk about the ones that do cheat. There comes a time they're always looking for new supply. They're looking for a higher level of fuel, and say they've locked into one. And they don't want the reputation as they're the one that's going to break up the relationship. They don't want that reputation because they're the good people. They're the good ones. So they don't want anybody getting a bad image of them. Because remember, they have to maintain their image at all costs. So they don't want anyone to get a bad image of them, or, you mess their image up by saying you're the one that messed up. You're the one that's cheating. You're the one that's doing this. And what they do is they put so much force, or they do so much sabotaging, that it pushes you right out of the relationship, so you're the one that discards them. And as soon as you discard them, whether they say, yeah, you should leave, I think it's the best thing for you, if that's what you decide to do, they're pushing you out because they don't want to look bad. So when you decide to discard, the confusing thing is, immediately when you do it, see, I knew you didn't love me. See, they told me that all I have to do is just say this to you, and if you do it and you leave, or you decide to leave, you didn't care in the first place, and I knew you didn't care after all these years. You just wanted my money, my whatever, and you're thinking, you drained all my bank accounts. But you did this, and you keep doing this, and you are sabotaging the relationship. But all of a sudden you're confused. So you're going through this big cycle of cognitive dissonance. And the reason why you're going through cognitive dissonance is because on one hand, you still love them. And on the other hand, you're thinking, but I know I need to leave. So they keep you in a constant state of confusion. On one hand, I really love this person. I don't want to break up my family. Maybe there's a chance that we can make this work. Maybe it'll work. Maybe this. On the other hand, but I know I need to leave. I'm not giving them any more chances. I'm tired of being treated this way. I need to go. I don't want to go, but I need to go. Then on the other hand, they push you out, and they want you to leave, and you may need to leave. And I'm telling you that we need to get a divorce, and you're like, okay. And the minute you say okay, immediately they want to play victim. They have to play the victim, because that victim mentality is going to get them sympathy and fuel from other people. I told you he didn't love me. I told you she didn't love me. I told you, I've been telling you this all along. And now you see. Now say that you decide, okay, well, let's try to make this thing work. They'll come up with any kind of way to keep you guys from going to therapy, because that is not the plan. My plan is not for you to keep on trying to stay there. Then they get upset at you because you're trying to make it work. And you're thinking, now I'm even more confused because you're telling me that I'm trying to leave, and I never tried, and I knew you didn't care about me, and I knew it all along, and then the next minute you're like, well, let's do therapy. And they'll try to swing it back around. Well, you don't need therapy. Well, I try to find a therapist, and you don't like. Total confusing. Even me having a conversation with you guys right now is just confusing, but totally confusing. That's that cognitive dissonance, and that's that gaslighting, and it's the projection. And so your best bet is just to walk out. Now, I always do the disclaimer. If you have children with this individual, you have a court order in place. You got to follow the court order. And on top of that, if you have children by this individual, you just can't jump up and take those kids and decide to run away, because they can play you in the court. All of a sudden there's an Amber Alert out there that you kidnapped the kids. But number one, you have to remember that depending on what state you are in, parents have rights. Is your best bet is to connect to some type of advocacy program to assist you if you need to come up with an escape plan, to assist you when it comes to documentation, and to assist you in helping you. The narcissist has isolated you so much and caused you not to trust anybody based off of the things that you've been through with them. But your best bet in order to save yourself is to build a network of people that's going to help you. Find a support system that's going to help you escape out of your situation. But in a reverse discard, they set it up where they sabotage the relationship to cause you or to force you out of the relationship. And when you decide to discard and get out of the situation, you immediately notice that they become the victims. And you feel bad and you feel guilty for doing it, because maybe I shouldn't have. And they'll tell you, you misunderstood what I was saying. You're confused. That is not what I was trying to say. You're not confused. They're doing exactly what and they're playing you and manipulating you to make you feel like you're crazy. You're not crazy. They did the discard. They just did it in reverse. Let you do it instead. You're welcome.